All right. Welcome back to the channel. Gervonta Davis's trainer, Kenny Ellis, and Calvin Ford go off. I've never heard Calvin Ford this angry in an interview before. So I definitely want to talk about what he and Kenny Ellis had to say about Gervonta Davis and these steady attempts to try to disintegrate this kid's career outside of the ring. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back. And this is another episode of Let's Get the Record Straight about Gervonta Davis. Because as usual, when somebody says something about Gervonta, like Calvin Ford, his trainer, or Coach Kenny Ellis, his co-trainer, when they have something to say, the amazing amounts of editorialization and assumptions that go on around it, it's marked. Let's put it that way. It's marked. It's done so often and so consistently with what they say that you know it's going to happen before it happens. And this is why Kenny Ellis said that he no longer wants to do any interviews. Now, what am I talking about? Before I let you know, thank you for coming back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you are a longtime supporter, thank you guys for coming around and continuing to chop it up with me about this boxing as we go through the days of our lives in boxing. So Kenny Ellis and Calvin Ford both had some excerpts put up by Fight Hype for some interviews that they did. And Calvin Ford said that wanted to be very clear that he has had some criticisms about young fighters and that how young fighters needed to come to the gym on time, how young fighters needed to respect the trainers, put in the work, right, and appreciate the time that trainers are putting in with these kids. And, he kind of went off a little bit about the way that younger people were behaving in his gym, right? Now, when he says this, what do people make of it? People make of it that, he must be talking about Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis isn't coming to the gym on time. Gervonta Davis isn't taking care of business. Gervonta Davis's mind isn't in the sport. He's being disrespectful to Kenny Ellis and Coach Calvin, right? When Coach Calvin Ford says, I wasn't talking about Gervonta Davis at all. He said Gervonta Davis is a grown man. Gervonta Davis makes grown men decisions for himself. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about these young kids that are in the ring, that are in the gym trying to get on, trying to come up and not showing the type of discipline and things that they need to do for the amount of time that coaches are putting in there with them. And if you've ever been involved with working with kids or trying to help kids that are in tough situations, sometimes these kids get tired. They stop coming, or they get all kind of different things can have them lose focus. And it becomes frustrating if you're putting more energy into something than they are. But to take what he said and try to use that as some way to tear down Gervonta Davis, what can I say? It's par for the course. Any and everything that is said about this kid by certain people in the YouTube media and in the mainstream media, apparently, take it, run with it, as always looking to try to do something, trying to make Gervonta Davis look bad. And that was just the first of the two. The second one was Kenny Ellis made a statement about how there was rumors that Gervonta Davis wasn't paying them well. And he said, look, Gervonta Davis takes care of me, takes care of Kenny Ellis, takes care of Coach Calvin very, very well. And he will continue to take care of as well. And he said, that is just some rumor that was started by that Vegas rat. Now, the person that he's talking about and calling a Vegas rat, that's quite obvious. The biggest rat in Vegas is Bill Haney. So Bill Haney is the one that started that conversation, trying to act like Gervonta Davis didn't pay his trainers any money. His trainers were broke and getting taken advantage of, and all of that kind of crap that was coming out of the mouth of Bill Haney to tear down Gervonta Davis. These same people that are responsible for the first misinterpretation of what Calvin Ford said are also probably backed up by Bill Haney and Devin Haney. Those guys are the absolute, in my personal opinion, I don't want anybody sending me any fake defamation letters, so I got to go through that drama. So let me just say, and I mean fake ones, Coach Kenny and Coach Calvin Ford are two of the nicest guys, but if you guys continue to try to tear down Gervonta Davis, you eventually start wearing down on them. You start wearing down on their whole organization because Bill and Devin, or Bill, Devin, whoever these other guys are, decided that they were going to set their sights on Gervonta Davis and make a name off his back. And they started tearing him down. On one hand, Devin Haney will do and act just like Gervonta. And then on the other hand, they'll be dogging and trying to tear down Gervonta at the same time. It reminds me of this movie, Amadeus Mozart. It was about Mozart, Amadeus. And obviously, Amadeus was a child prodigy playing for kings and queens and aristocracy, right? Extraordinary talented musician. Meanwhile, there was this other kid that around the same age that wanted to be a musician, but his father didn't really have the skill or the ability to get him the lessons that he could be as good as he wanted to be, but he had a real love for music. And then he heard Amadeus Mozart and he became a critic. So he couldn't play music like Amadeus, but he loved music enough where he could get a job being a critic. And what he would do is, although he loved Amadeus Mozart and was like, this is the most amazing musician in the world, he would never say it during his critiques. During his critiques, he would attack him, talk about him bad because he wanted to see Mozart fail. But at the same time, he knew how much talent Mozart had, and it was the internal jealousy and competition that drove this man to try to ruin Amadeus Mozart's life. And that's what it seems to me to be what's going on with a lot of these people in Gervonta Davis. They see this young, bright, talented kid who really is making a name for himself, coming from nothing to a whole lot of everything. And then they just want that to be them. So they pile on and they try to attach themselves to his name, but they don't attach themselves to him in a way that it makes it is beneficial to him. It is a way to drag him down and raise themselves up and to almost humble him because he had the audacity to be as great as he is. My personal opinion is these guys are all a bunch of scumbags, and I wouldn't listen to them on YouTube to save my life unless I absolutely have to, if they say something about me. But generally speaking, man, the way that the media has treated Gervonta Davis, the way that they've treated a lot of these fighters over there at the PBC has just been absolutely, in my personal opinion, it's been absolutely terrible. There's no justification for it. And these guys should be able to enjoy the fruits of their labor. They should not have their labor turned into fruits for other people who are just going to continue to pile on and tear down their names. But that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.